Now on Nightside, why the Kootenai County Sheriff calls a book from the library explicit.
The next round of rain approaches tonight. I'll let you know what to expect for a wet Wednesday morning.
2 new lawsuits blame Inland Power for the Gray Fire. Hundreds of homes lost. What one of those lawsuits points to as the cause of the deadly fire. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. Well, 2 lawsuits are blaming Inland Power for starting a devastating wildfire in Spokane County last month. Thanks for staying up with us for Nightside. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. The Gray Fire destroyed more than 200 homes in the Medical Lake area last month. It is important to point out fire agencies have not released an official cause. Tonight on Nightside, Ron Yakor breaks down their claims.
One lawsuit claims the fire was caused by an outdoor service light, which Inland Power owns and operates. A second lawsuit doesn't point specifically to a cause, just said that Inland Power is responsible. Both lawsuits were filed today.
Evidence can grow stale, witnesses can disappear, be difficult to locate. The sooner the better.
That's why Spokane-based attorney John Allison says he filed this lawsuit, which points to an outdoor service light as the cause of the Gray Fire.
One of the things we are looking forward to very much is being part of the ability to inspect and investigate that equipment.
The lawsuit cites an eyewitness who saw sparks or molten material drop out of the outdoor light on the property shortly after the fire started. Eyewitnesses also say the light was malfunctioning a few months before the fire. They say the faulty light was reported to Inland Power and that Inland Power did check on the light, but that it was still malfunctioning the day of the fire.
Once you file a case like this, it gives you official access to evidence. The victims of this fire have a right to have a seat at the table, to get to the bottom of it and to find out the truth.
The lawsuit alleges Inland Power was negligent and breached its duty to its customers. Regarding the lawsuits, in a statement, a spokesperson for Inland Power wrote in part, quote, "As you know, the cause is still under investigation, and we will not make any speculations while an active investigation is still underway."
Getting to the truth of what happened, making the community safer, understanding why this happened and how it can be prevented in the future, and compensating those homeowners who have suffered so much and lost so much.
44 people who have lost their property are represented in the lawsuit. A second lawsuit filed by a California law firm that specializes in this type of litigation says that Inland Power failed to inspect and remove nearby vegetation, and also claims the company's power lines are negligently designed and constructed. Once again, the cause of this fire is still under investigation. As we learn more information, we'll continue to keep you updated right here on KXLY and on our website at kxly.com. In studio, Ron Yakor, 4 News Now.
The Dutch Bros on Freya officially reopens tomorrow. The coffee stand was destroyed 2 years ago when a dump truck crashed into it, hurting 7 people. 2 employees were hospitalized. The owner says it took 2 years of patience and hard work, but says he decided to rebuild and reopen.
This was our 4th stand, so it's special to have it reopen. This stand was at the tipping point for us when we really started to grow as a company here in Spokane, so it's an important stand.
The grand reopening is Wednesday morning at 5 a.m. Anyone who stops by can enjoy $1 off their drink, and $1 will also be donated to the Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center. Well, if your kids had the rain gear out for school, they're going to need it again in the morning. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is here with your first alert forecast.
And you might need a run through that Dutch Bros in the morning, too, because
right.
It is going to be a cool and soggy start to the day. And here's another look at the area of low pressure that's making its way in our direction. That's going to be spreading rain across the region tomorrow morning. Here's our chance of precipitation throughout the day on Wednesday, starting off with only 30% chance of rain, but then that really jumps up to 90% by 8 o'clock, and it's nearly 100 through most of the day. We will get some breaks during that time, but we also have the potential for some isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon. The greater totals in terms of rainfall tomorrow are going to be over the northeast mountains and North Idaho. The potential for up to a ½ inch around Colville and Sandpoint. We're looking at more like a 1/10 of an inch in Spokane and Pullman, a quarter of an inch plus in the Coeur d'Alene area. Your day planner for tomorrow, it is going to be a cool start to the day. We've had some clearing, and that has allowed our temperature to drop very quickly. So we'll be down in the mid-40s to start. Then we will keep that rain going with a slight chance of thunderstorms, a high temperature of 57 degrees. Our air quality in the good range. Boy, that temperature is more than 10 degrees below average, and there's no sign of a big warm up in the 7-day forecast, but there is a lot more rain to tell you about. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
It was dark tonight, too, on dinner break, so that means everything is changing.
Yes, it is.
Feeling that fall.
Fall's coming.
Thank you, Chris. The Kootenai County Sheriff made a stop at the public library to see what types of books were offered to children. The sheriff wore a body cam and shared his concerns with the community at a town hall meeting last week. One of the books he brought up at the meeting is titled Deal With It, A Whole New Approach to Your Body, Brain, and Life as a Girl by Esther Drill. The sheriff said he found it in the young adults section. It includes pages on how to identify sexual assault, LGBTQ+, and oral sex.
We don't allow them to go into places where controlled substances are ingested. And does this increase the likelihood of a 12, 13, 14-year-old reading something like this in such explicit fashion and then experimenting on a neighbor or on a cousin or on a brother or sister?
The director of the Community Library Network said the book is for high schoolers grades 10 through 12. Children with a limited library card do not have access to this book. We did ask Sheriff Norris if we could have access to the body camera footage, but he declined. Around the Northwest, threats made to Moscow High School today were unfounded. The school and surrounding businesses were placed on lockdown as law enforcement cleared the buildings and determined that it was a hoax, but it does add to a growing trend of false reports of school shootings across the country. According to the School Safety Network, there was a 546% increase in false violent reports last year compared to the 2018-2019 school year. 63% of those hoax calls were for an active shooter. Well, that is Lewis and Clark High School's band playing in the One Spokane Stadium for the very first time. Student athletes, public officials, and the band celebrated the brand new stadium during a ribbon cutting ceremony today. And soon we'll see concerts and professional sports teams fill the new One Spokane Stadium. It will also serve as one home for 5 local high school teams. Spokane Public Schools' Greg Forsyth says this stadium will have opportunities for all students to get involved.
It is a sports venue, but there's education within all of this, whether it's our band, our leadership team, our athletes, or even our AV and our experience in entertainment. We're excited.
And Spokane broadcast students will also get to create the content shown on these big screens. We've been covering the stadium since the very beginning. Make sure to tune in tomorrow when we will be dedicating a half an hour of our newscast to its opening. Watch 4 News Now at 6:30 to get the inside scoop from the field, the stadium, and much more, including our sports team.
That's right. The Shadle Park girls varsity soccer team is going to be playing the first game there on Thursday night, and we'll have them live on that show tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Now it's a matchup for the bright lights of Las Vegas. Time for a look at First Sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. Gonzaga basketball will play USC in December. It is one of the premier college basketball games of the season. The game will be part of the Legends of Basketball Invitational. It's the 4th time the Bulldogs and Trojans have gone head-to-head. USC features former Washington State Cougar DJ Rodman and Bronny James, the son of NBA superstar LeBron James. So safe to say this game's got a little bit extra cachet. Tip-off between the Zags and Trojans is set for 7 o'clock on December 2nd. Tickets go on sale October 13th, and you can find more information on how to buy those tickets on our website at KXLY.com. Live in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Thank you, Julian. Spokane County officials want your input on plans to give Plants Ferry Park and Sports Complex a makeover. The park is located just off of East Wellesley in Spokane Valley, north of Trent. The sports facilities advisory master plan would have multiple phases. The first one focuses primarily on improved security, parking, and renovations to some of the fields. There's an open house you're invited to tomorrow at the Center Place Regional Event Center Auditorium on North Discovery Place. It starts at 5:30. We have a link to the sports facilities advisory's full plan on KXLY.com. New guidelines for when animal shelters can euthanize animals in the city of Spokane after the break.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by Post Falls Volkswagen.
We love our house, but lately we've been feeling a little cramped.
So we talked to ICCU about a new home loan. The process was super quick, and we got a really great rate.
We start house hunting tomorrow.
Preferably something with a bigger garage.
You expect more from local news. 4 News Now delivers.
It's to get you the information you need to plan your day.
We begin with breaking news and the breaking news you need to keep your family safe.
That's what we mean when we say expect more.
Listen up. You've got 4 days and 4 days only to save like never before.
During the 4-day super sale at Furniture Row. That's 4 days where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. No limit. You'll also find huge savings on sofas and sectionals, dining tables and chairs, bedrooms, and much, much more. Plus no interest until January 2028. But don't wait. The 4-day super sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
You know, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
Discover the 2023 Mazda CX-5 with standard iActive all-wheel drive and a powerful available turbo engine. It's a CUV that truly ignites the senses.
The talk of the town all-wheel drive Mazda CX-5 is in stock now at Foothills Mazda. Take yours home today or shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by Hospice of Spokane.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. There are now new guidelines for when animal shelters can euthanize animals in the city of Spokane. An emergency resolution was unanimously passed by the Spokane City Council last night after recent concerns were brought forward when 14 dogs were euthanized at Scraps for behavioral problems. The change to the charter says animal control agencies are not allowed to euthanize solely on a lack of space, and it can only be used as a last resort if a veterinarian says the animal is severely injured, sick, or suffering. Brenda Wright, a local animal welfare advocate, was one of the dozens who spoke at last night's meeting. She says the community's trust in Scraps has been changed throughout this and is hoping for a brighter future when it comes to animal welfare.
We're frustrated that Scraps was not taking strays, telling people to put them back where they found them, or you'll have to keep it yourselves. That was the original frustration. Now people are telling me that they don't trust Scraps to take the dog there, that they're afraid something bad will happen, they could be euthanized. And honestly, whether that's real or imagined, once the community believes that and they stop using that resource, it's the same either way.
Spokane County has repeatedly stated it has never euthanized animals for capacity. The county says humane euthanasia has only been used as a last resort for dogs that are a threat to the public.
We'll ask the city to bring forward a list of itemized concerns with evidence, which to date we have not been presented with, and we'll renew our call and offer to host city council members at the Scraps facility so they can see our policies firsthand.
Going forward, both Bell and City Council members are hoping for more collaboration with the goal of a solution for the whole county. The Spokane City Council also formally denounced the mayor of Spokane and her actions, appearing on stage last month with former state representative and accused domestic terrorist Matt Shea during a religious rally. At last night's council meeting, a total of 32 people signed up to speak on this resolution, a majority of them from the faith-based community, urging the city council to vote no, saying this was an attack on religious freedom. Mayor Nadine Woodward was in attendance for the meeting and talked to 4 News Now.
I hear when I'm out in the community is that a lot of people think this is a waste of taxpayer time, the council's time and taxpayer money, that they should be really focused on the issues that are important to this community.
After hours of comments and discussion at the meeting, the resolution passed the council 4-3. These are stunning images of a rare sight. It's called a Dumbo octopus, and it was spotted off the coast of Hawaii. A research team aboard an exploration vessel live streamed their discoveries from deep in the ocean, and they were in awe.
That is a wonderful view.
So graceful, like the slow motion.
So beautiful.
It reminds me of space a little bit. The ocean always does. The Dumbo octopus is the deepest living of all known octopus species, swimming just slightly above the seafloor at depths of up to 13,000 feet.
Oh my word.
I know. I could watch that and fall asleep to it. To me, it's very peaceful. A couple people in the newsroom said that it was a little scary, so.
Oh gosh, no.
Everyone has their own opinion.
I mean, I don't want to be down there 13,000 feet with it, but.
I know.
Wow.
Isn't that so cute?
Ocean is amazing. Yes. And I was amazed at the looking up instead of down at this beautiful time lapse of our moody sky this afternoon with the rain. And then we had this beautiful clearing just in time for sunset. I'm so glad we get to do these time lapse recordings every day to see the progression of our weather. It'll be partly to mostly cloudy overnight tonight, but it won't be long until we will see some rain developing. 45 for an overnight low, 57 tomorrow. Rain likely, not as likely that we're going to see thunderstorms. This graphic looks so ominous. There is the possibility of that. Wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Here's our forecast radar, and we have the potential for a little bit like a sprinkle or two around 2 a.m., but more likely that rain is going to hold off until we're into the morning commute. Here's 9 a.m. with some steady rain around the region. That will begin tapering off around noon to more hit and miss showers. That's when we could also see a little bit of thunderstorm activity. 5 o'clock, we still have a few hit and miss spots, but then we clear out very quickly as we get into the evening. We're dry by this time tomorrow. Morning lows around the region will be down in the 40s. High temperatures tomorrow will be in the 50s and 60s. This is more than 10 degrees below average. We're going to stay cool for the next 4 days with a chance of rain every day through the 7-day forecast. It looks like Sunday and Monday we may stay dry, and even on Saturday it's only a 30% chance of showers. We'll fine-tune the timing on that as we get closer to the weekend. In the meantime, keep your umbrella with you, and I'll be back in just a few minutes to talk more about that rain on the way for Thursday and Friday and show you what we're thinking on the timing for those systems. Kirsten.
All right, thank you, Chris. The expansion of a larger drug treatment center is happening on 8th Avenue near the Lower South Hill neighborhood. After years of planning, Spokane's health district wants to be ready to fight the ongoing drug crisis across the city. Brenda Crosby has lived in Spokane her whole life. Her son lives in the apartment across from this new location. Crosby says the growing need for drug addiction is inevitable.
Spokane has changed, and I see it as a positive. At least it's a step to gain back control of the city again, our community, right?
The district's treatment services director says more patients are seeking its opioid treatment program right now. It needs a bigger facility to meet the demand, and the goal is to have easier and quicker access to resources from community partners all under one roof. The director says the public is asked to contact them if they have any questions or concerns, and the health district says it's expecting to open by the end of this year. Healthcare workers face a higher risk of suicide compared to people in other fields. That's the finding of a new study. Registered nurses, support workers, and technicians are especially vulnerable. One of the study's authors says it highlights the need for better mental health services in the healthcare profession. 4 News Now. We'll be right back after the break.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Here, freshly made grizzly bear tracks. Survival, it's not guaranteed. Good thing I got my Ford Bronco Sport, because it goes over any terrain.
Get a great deal on a Bronco Sport only at your local Ford dealer.
Your whole health is more than what you find at the doctor's office, because it's all around you. The food you eat, what makes you happy, and what keeps you up at night. The place you call home. It's why we created a health insurance company that considers so much more. WellPoint, your whole health is our whole point.
Trends come and go, but luxury's always in style. Now's your chance to buy beautiful Kerastan flooring at a price you can afford. During National Kerastan Month, you can save on Kerastan flooring. Elevate your decor with the designs and quality of Kerastan carpet, or choose from Kerastan's Luxcraft luxury vinyl tile collections. Don't miss your chance to live beautifully with Kerastan. Hurry in now to Skelton's Carpet One in Lewiston.
Have you heard? Tempur-Pedic sleep is better sleep.
With innovative memory foam developed by NASA, Tempur-Pedic mattresses reduce motion transfer, which means less tossing and turning so you can sleep undisturbed through the night.
But which Tempur-Pedic is right for you? Come to Denver Mattress and test for yourself.
Or get a $300 gift when you purchase any qualifying Tempur-Pedic.
And rest easy knowing it's backed by our 365-night better sleep guarantee. Shop Denver Mattress today, your Tempur-Pedic elite retailer.
Here, freshly made grizzly bear tracks. Survival, it's not guaranteed. Good thing I got my Ford Bronco Sport, because it goes over any terrain.
Get a great deal on a Bronco Sport only at your local Ford dealer.
4 News Now is brought to you by Summit Cancer Center.
We only picked up 0.06 of an inch of precipitation at the airport today, but we have many more chances for rain. Our chance of precipitation over the next 5 days, a slam dunk tomorrow, but then it's 50 to 60% Thursday and Friday. Our odds go down Saturday and Sunday. Let's take a look at Wednesday night into Thursday to get our timing for Thursday's rain. We're starting off Wednesday at 11 o'clock with dry conditions, and we're going to stay dry through Thursday morning. So it's not going to be the soggy start we've had today and will again tomorrow. But then as we get into the afternoon, we'll start to see that afternoon convection developing. Here's noon on Thursday with some very isolated showers. Those become more widespread as we get into the late afternoon and early evening. Here's 7 o'clock Thursday, and then we dry out as we get into Thursday night. We'll do that on repeat for another day. Each day seems to be getting a little bit drier. Here's a look at our weather patterns starting off tonight at 11 o'clock. This area of low pressure coming in for tomorrow, giving us that good chance of rain. We have another system passing by to our north that'll bring those showers for Thursday, and then we'll be in a westerly flow through the weekend that will keep at least a slight chance of showers going, but the best chance will be over the mountains. Our October forecast for the 4th through the 10th, that's 8 to 14 days, is still calling for above average precipitation meanwhile. So more rain on the way and below average temperatures. We may be seeing some snow flying again in the mountains. In the meantime, what a spectacular pick of the night from Andra Derrickson. This was taken along the Spokane River, a sunrise right around Marabou Park. And I love the reflection of the clouds in the river. And it's so still. My goodness. We'll get some snow in the mountains and see it roaring again in the spring.
Yeah, I know. Enjoy it while it's like glass.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Well, the Spokane Fire Department, Spokane Valley Fire Department, and Spokane County Fire District 9 are taking tactical training all week long to keep you safe in any emergency. The annual training keeps first responders up to date on how to respond to situations like collapsed buildings and car rescues. And while things like building collapses don't happen very often, that's the reason that firefighters say this training is very important.
But it is incredibly important, and there's a lot of little details to it, and just the upkeep, and as practices change, as techniques change, as new equipment comes on board, we need to stay up with all of that.
Well, the training will pick back up again next September. The Seattle Mariners are inching closer to a playoff spot. Highlights from tonight's pivotal game against the defending champion Houston Astros.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Pape Machinery.
It just takes one great idea to change your life.
Working hard to get my fill.
I'm trying to build a legacy for my family.
Paying anything to roll the dice.
I didn't know I was going to cry right now. I'm going to make you an offer.
I've never seen anything like this on Shark Tank.
I totally believe in you.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Hondas are piggy banks on wheels. Stylish, athletic piggy banks that save you money at every glorious turn. Legendary fuel efficiency, famous for its resale value, and now with great deals including 2 years complimentary maintenance, it's your chance to get into America's best value brand. So start saving money and drive happy as a pig in. See your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader.
It goes like one margarita. Bluebird in my heart. Baby, you're playing hard to forget.
The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
So if we spend a third of our lives sleeping, shouldn't we try to get the best sleep possible? That's why Denver Mattress is all about that sleep life. And during the 4-day super sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Or save up to $200 on our Doctor's Choice lineup. Any size, any model. Plus, no interest until 2028 and free shipping. Improve your sleep life one night at a time. Only at Denver Mattress. The easiest way to get the right mattress.
The facts say people watch the Cougs. And the people watch the Cougs more than every team that's left over in the Big 12. Okay, so Coach Corso, he's at the point now where they give him the sheet and he reads off of it and they try to make a joke, but it didn't even make sense.
Well, that was Saturday night. Cougars head coach Jake Dickert had some choice words for ESPN's College Game Day crew. During the show, ESPN analyst Lee Corso referred to the Washington State-Oregon State matchup as the No One Wants Us Bowl. The Cougars and Beavers have been left out of conference realignment. WSU and OSU are the only Pac-12 teams remaining after this season, and both schools are still looking for a new conference home. Fast forward to today, Dickert wanted to clarify his comments during his weekly press conference, saying he meant no disrespect to Corso or the show. Dickert had the chance to chat with Corso over the weekend to clear the air.
My frustrations really still stem from, there's a conglomerate of people that have made a lot of decisions that have been outside, mostly our control. And the lack of clarity based on the metrics and the real facts, is where my frustration really comes from. And I think it is my job to stand up for the people of Washington State, because I think these decisions greatly impact all of us.
No game for the Cougars this week. Washington State has a bye before taking on UCLA. Idaho and Eastern Washington, 2 schools separated by 75 miles and 2 very different team colors. The Vandals and Eagles will go head-to-head on the football field on Saturday. Both are ranked and playing some of their best football right now. Idaho is coming off a top 25 win over Sacramento State. Eastern Washington opened up Big Sky Conference play with a win over UC Davis on the road. Now, this game, though, is about more than just wins and losses. losses. It's about the 3 R's: regionality, recruiting, and rivalry.
When both teams are good and we play every year, when we are good, that makes it that much more interesting, more intriguing, and less room for error for both sides. And it hasn't always been that way, but it's becoming that way, and we appreciate it.
You know, just like, you know, Sac State has a huge win the week before they play us, and, you know, we're looking to ruin their day, just like, you know, we had a good win. You know, Eastern Washington's going to be looking to ruin our day.
Idaho has never won a game in Cheney, so they'll see if they can do it. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock on Saturday from Roos Field. The Seattle Mariners only have 6 more games to decide if they're going to make the playoffs or not. Tonight was against the team they are chasing for the final wild card spot, the Houston Astros. The Mariners had to contend with Astros starting pitcher Christian Javier. Seattle's Cal Raleigh at the plate, and he says, no problemo. Raleigh dumps one into right field. 1 run will score. Astros right fielder Kyle Tucker will try to throw out Julio Rodriguez at third, but the ball skips away. Good fortunate move there for the Mariners as Rodriguez scores. Mariners lead 4-0 just like that. Now, same inning. Teoscar Hernandez will be at the plate for Seattle, and Hernandez keeps the rally going. Goes past the third baseman there. Another run scores for Seattle, and the Mariners, well, they're well in control of this game. Now, 8th inning. Ty France puts the exclamation point on this bad boy. Home run for France. Mariners win 6-2 and now sit a half game behind the Astros for that final wild card spot in the American League. Now, this is a current look at the standings. The Mariners and Astros play one more time, 6:40 tomorrow night in Seattle. Then the Mariners welcome in the Texas Rangers to end the regular season. And that'll wrap us up for sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
What I want people to know about Numerica's involvement is that it's genuine.
I work at a company that supports the community because we're a part of it.
It's important to give back to the community you live in. We are truly here to help, and we're passionate about it.
What do you do when your employee gets hurt on the job? Here's a story about Jay. He got hurt at work and couldn't perform his normal duties. That's rough, but there's good news. You see, Jay works for TISA, and TISA wants to do right by her employee. She knows all about L&I's Stay at Work program, so TISA gets to keep a valuable employee like Jay on the payroll doing a light-duty job while he heals. And TISA gets reimbursed half of Jay's wages, up to $10,000. Now, that's what we call a win-win. Learn more at lni.wa.gov/stay at work.
Our state has changed a lot in the last 140 years. We know because MultiCare has been here, guided by a single purpose, making our communities healthier. That comes from making courageous decisions, partnering with local communities to grow programs and services, and expanding healthcare access to those who need it most. Together, we're building a healthier future. MultiCare.
Listen up. You've got 4 days and 4 days only to save like never before during the 4-day super sale at Furniture Row. That's 4 days where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. No limit. You'll also find huge savings on sofas and sectionals, dining tables and chairs, bedrooms, and much, much more. Plus no interest until January 2028. But don't wait. The 4-day super sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Here is your 7-day forecast. 7 days with at least a slight chance of rain and temperatures in the 50s, and fall is really letting us know that it's here. Drink your pumpkin spice, put out your gourds on the porch.
I had to do it already. Yeah.
You have? Okay.
It's looking a little swampy. And speaking of that, Shrek is a really big theme lately. I've seen it for bachelorette parties.
My kids are dressing like that for Halloween. Their friends, yeah.
I don't understand it. We need to have a conversation with your kids. I ask them a lot of questions. Those poor kids.
They know.
So this is an Airbnb that is making the fantasy of Shrek come to life for people just in time for Halloween. It is the Shrek Swamp, and it's located in the Scottish Highlands.
Wow.
It is beautiful. They've done a great job. I loved Shrek as a kid, but I don't get
why the resurgence. I don't know.
Big fan base, I guess.